What's going on, YouTube? So beside me is the all-new 2023 Genesis GV60, which is not just Genesis' first electric vehicle, it's also bringing in a lot of firsts, really for any car in terms of technology. So what we're going to do today is do a quick walk around the outside as well as the inside and drive this GV60. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So we want to start out today by talking about the exterior design of this all-new GV60. Now, in terms of the Genesis design language, you're really not going to have a ton of similarity between its other bigger brothers like the GV70 and GV80. It has a lot of uniqueness to it, which you would expect out of an electric vehicle. So let's break down some of the elements. We have a big Genesis badge up here in the front, and then since this is an EV, you don't have a need for a big crest grille like the other Genesis crossover, so most of this is going to be sealed off. However, all of this area is going to be opened up to get some airflow into the internals. And then if we come over to the headlights, these are also going to be a little bit unique for the GV60 because they're going to be full LED, and as you can see, it's like individual crystals inside. I don't know how much of the detailing you can see, but they are absolutely gorgeous headlights. I've never seen a headlight quite this beautiful. You're not going to have quite the same design as some of the other Genesis crossovers, though. So let's go ahead and talk about the wheel design for the GV60. These are going to be a very unique element for this vehicle. Never really seen a wheel design that looks quite like this. It's designed for aerodynamics, and as you can see, it's a nice 21-inch alloy wheel. There's not a lot of contrast elements, but I do like the overall look. Then coming up, we have our nice mirror design here. We have LED turn signal indicators inside, auto dimming, as well as blind spot monitoring. Then up here at the top, I do want to point this out. Since we do have the panoramic moonroof, you have a nice blacked out roof, as well as some blacked out roof rails and window surrounds. And then as far as the side, one thing I want to point out is that this GV60 is actually a little bit shorter than its related Ioniq 5, as well as the EV6 in terms of overall length. And then it's going to have a very coupe-like design, so it kind of flows around and goes into the back. It's certainly very unique looking, and we have this like Z element here on the side that goes into the hatchback design, as well as this big spoiler in the back. And then looking at your taillights here, these are also going to mirror what you see in the front. They're the split design like you've seen in other Genesis crossover. Full LED, we have Genesis branding across the back, and then for the lower elements, it is going to be a silver finish, even here on this white one, and of course you're not going to have any exhaust pipes. Now let's go ahead and hop into the inside, and before we get in there, I have something really cool to show you. I said at the beginning of this video that there are a lot of firsts for this product, and one of those is going to be this area right here. If you notice in the B-pillar here, there's a little indentation, and that is actually to scan your face to unlock the vehicle. So you don't have to carry your keys if you're going to go for a run or whatever. You can walk up, remotely lock and unlock the vehicle with your face right through this pillar right here.
Yeah. So again, touch the door handle. There you go. To unlock the car, touch the two lines on the door handle, look at the B-pillar. There you go. It recognizes my face. You cannot go on the internet and print out a picture of me and hold it up to the B-pillar. It won't work. It's really looking at the depth and the features of your face to unlock the car. Works with a scarf, works with sunglasses, cap, hood, like today for this inclement weather, rain jacket. Really functional feature. And then the second piece of that is the fingerprint. So to authenticate and drive away without the key fob, all I have to do is put my fingerprint on the fingerprint reader right here. You can see in the there we go. You can see here, authenticated. The vehicle can now be started. And now we start the vehicle.
Here. Now, of course, you do also have smart entry as well, and you're going to have the pop-out door handle design. And then we'll go ahead and get inside. I'll give Drew a second to take a look, and then we'll hop inside and check out some of the cool features in there. All right, guys, we're in the interior of the all-new Genesis GV60. Holy moly, this is unlike any other car I think I've ever been in my entire life. I hate that I have to be in it in such a short time frame because I really want to experience and tell you all what it's about. But let's just go ahead and talk about some first impressions here. First of all, the color is a mix of blue. It's like a dark navy blue. I really love this color. This absolutely gorgeous. Never really seen a car color in this for the inside, and I love how they have neon stitching. How unique. There's stitching all throughout and piping, different elements. We have Alcantara as well as some leather. It's a beautiful interior. We also have leather across the entire dashboard, all up here in the upper portions. This nice trim go through the middle, as well as here in the center console. And the door trim is also absolutely gorgeous. Leather on the top part. We have Alcantara here, a very unique door handle design. This thing is a grab handle. All of your window switches are very unique feeling. They feel super high quality as well. But let's talk about the thing you might have seen already, a little bit of information about this little orb. This orb is so cool looking, guys. This is one of the coolest things ever. So when the vehicle is powered off, it's going to look like this. It has a bunch of ambient lights in it. It's made of glass. Very three-dimensional and cool looking. But when you turn the vehicle on, that is when it will flip into the shifter. So this doubles as your shifter. And what we were being told is that this is also a safety feature for an electric vehicle. That way you can easily tell if this vehicle is on or off. But in order to start up, we can of course use the fingerprint to start it up, although I'm not authenticated today. Or you can just push the button and it flips over, guys. How sick is that? That's absolutely crazy, awesome, cool. But let's break down some of the other elements that are going on inside this cabin. So, of course, we have our dual integrated displays here, one of which is for your gauge cluster. Now, you're going to have a lot of different information in here. It's fully reconfigurable, as you've seen with other Genesis products. Lots of information, charge level, your efficiency, the timer, and you're also going to have some driver information in front as well. We have a big head-up display, which I'm not sure you'll be able to see on the camera, but it is on this car. And then coming back to the steering wheel, blue leather steering wheel, absolutely gorgeous. Metal buttons, two-part design. This is a very unique looking design. I've almost never seen one that looks like this. You also have paddles, which these affect the regen ability, so you can turn up the regen, turn down the regen just with the paddles. Also rain sensing wipers, plus your boost mode right here. Now, as far as storage, we got some center storage here. Not a ton in the middle. I don't think our coupons would fit. However, we do have a wireless phone charger. We also have heated seats up here in the front, ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, brake hold. And then this is to control your infotainment system, this knob in front of the shifter. The shifter itself has little hand grooves in it. Oh my gosh, it feels great in the hand. And then you have a 360 camera up top with dynamic grid lines. And then as far as your climate controls, you are going to have a good amount of climate controls right here. You have nice fancy buttons to adjust the temperature, as well as some of your just general functions for the display. I also want to point out, I don't know if Drew will be able to see it, but look at all the storage up underneath of here. This whole area, just like the Ioniq 5 and EV6, is just free for you to put whatever you're going to need, a diaper bag, whatever. And then up at the top, let's go ahead and look at our display. This is going to be a really, really high resolution display. Pretty much running the same software that we've seen in other Genesis products, but this is a nice high resolution display that is also seamless with the gauge cluster. Now, moving up, we have an auto dimming interior mirror. We have a suede headliner. Feels absolutely awesome. Very premium. This whole cabin experience is just very, very premium. Plus, we have a panoramic moonroof. It does not open, so that is something worth noting. And then you have the sunshade that closes into each other in a really nice way. Hopping into the rear seat. It's also going to be a very bougie and nice place to spend time. It's really unlike any other car I've ever been in. Nice door trim. We have rear window sunshades. Cool design for the door trim. We have cup holders integrated within. And if you look over at the door trim, you'll see that we also have 3-stage heated rear seats and just really cool look. We also have vents integrated into the B-pillar. And then for the center, we have 2 USB Type-C ports, a little storage cubby right there with some netting, and a fold-down armrest. Now coming up to your tailgate area, you do have a power tailgate as you would expect. It's also going to be hands-free. And I don't have any cargo measures. I also don't have any spec figures for this vehicle at this given time. Hopefully we'll review it on our channel soon. But as you can see, there's a lot of space back here. Plenty of room to put you, your family, and all their belongings. Now let's go ahead and get out to the test drive part. EV power.
Yeah. All right, so we're taking off here with the all-new GV60, of course. We're going for a quick drive. Weather's pretty bad, but we'll see how we can test it out here. Initial thoughts. Obviously plenty of power straight off the line, as you expect for pretty much any EV. They all tend to, you know, really put that power down, but this one especially is going to be a very powerful option. We're looking at 483 horsepower as a maximum when you press this button right here. This is the magic boost button, and you know, I'll pull out here and we'll actually give that a try on this kind of straightaway here. All right. Boost. Woo, damn. Wow.
Son of a mother. Wow, that's really fast.
Yeah. Of course, this is the performance model. The standard model is going to be 314 horsepower, I believe.
Yeah.
But when you get this performance model, it's going to give you quite a bit more power. In both cases, you are going to have standard all-wheel drive, so you can still have confidence even when you're here on inclement weather. On this rainy road, we didn't even spin or anything, so I'm pretty impressed by how it's putting the power down and just the sheer power of the machine itself.
Right. Yeah, and you know, I guess we should talk about what this actually is. So this is a 77.4 kilowatt hour battery pack. You know, it's similar to some of the things that you've seen on the Ioniq 5 as well as the EV6. And that does also mean that the charging is going to be the same, which is one of the best things about those two products, is that you have the fastest charging on any EV. You have 800 volt charging, which can charge you 10 to 80%, and I swear 18 minutes,
18 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're getting extremely fast charging to charge up this battery to get you where you're going as quickly as possible. And you can do a lot of those accelerations and enjoy all that power because it's going to charge up pretty fast.
Right. The other thing I'm noticing driving out on some curves here is that this is a pretty agile machine. You know, as has been discussed previously in this video, it does share, of course, a foundation of that eGMP electric platform from the Hyundai Kia group, and I have to say though, it does feel very different from EV6 and especially the Ioniq 5. With this performance model, really feels nice and buttoned down, and a lot sportier than the Ioniq, which we were just driving actually a matter of a few days ago.
Yeah. Yeah, the big battery down in the bottom allows it to be a little bit more agile than what you would expect out of an SUV with this size.
Right, and it's a little bit smaller of a package as well, the vehicle's footprint. But yeah, it feels very nice and agile as we kind of cut through these corners.
Now, I also want to point out that you do get 3 free years of Electrify America as well. So we were pointing out that charging, you do get 3 free years. So that's a nice partnership that Genesis has made with Electrify America to make sure that charging this GV60 is as, well, free and quick as possible. Yeah, this thing is really quick, really quick.
I think we're in the standard drive mode, I believe. I don't actually know where the drive mode controller is in this vehicle. I've been told that the drive modes are very distinct from each other. They've done a good job of trying to distinguish one from the other. Maybe it's inside the display.
I'm not sure.
Like we said, we have very quick first impressions of this model. We will, test this out, hopefully on the channel soon, and really give you full impressions of what living with the vehicle is like and having it day to day.
Yeah. And I do also want to point out a few other bits of information. We haven't mentioned the range up until this point. So that's, of course, a very important part about owning an electric vehicle is the range. Is the range decent? Is it good enough to get you places? You're looking at 248 miles for the standard 314 horsepower model. The performance is going to be rated at 235 miles. And it's initially going to be sold in only 4 states. So that's a little bit of the unfortunate news, is that it won't be sold in places like Kentucky as of now, but it will be later on.
Yeah, and if you're wondering about the range, I believe Genesis initially said they were going to sell a rear-wheel drive version, but they have since decided to go with just all-wheel drive offering. So that is kind of why the range, for instance, if you're looking at the top-end number, is going to be less than, the Ioniq 5, but that's a rear drive model.
Yep.
This thing really
it's
scoots.
Really quick for sure. And I also want to talk about the pricing, because we do know that about this GV60, and as we mentioned throughout the time with the vehicle, this is the fully loaded performance model. So this is the most expensive GV60 that you can get. So this one's going to start at $67,890, and then when you add in destination, you'd probably be looking at around $69,000. That is before your tax credit, though, so you do have a $7,500 tax credit. The cheaper way to get it is the advanced all-wheel drive, which is the base model. That's going to be $58,890.
But overall, after our brief time here with the GV60, I have to say I think Genesis might have another winner on their hands. There really is just a lot of awesome things going for this model. You've got a lot of performance on board, of course, but I think maybe even the bigger aspect that I'm noticing is just like how supremely luxurious and nice this cabin is, plus how high-tech it is. Up until now, I feel like a lot of brands have really struggled to keep up with Tesla and truly rival them in technology, but this has some tech on board that even Tesla doesn't have, and that is super impressive to me. So all in all, I think this is going to really shape up to be a very competitive electric crossover.